All right, so now what I want to do is just kind of cover what you should have done at this point in order to be ready for the next step, okay? So anything that's going to break this silhouette, so notice how like this breaks the silhouette, right? This breaks the silhouette. His little ear things there break the silhouette. Anything that's going to cut out, so if they have spikes or any kind of thing that if you were to make this entirely black, the character, and then make the background white or whatever color, that you would be able to see it when the silhouette was visible and nothing else, no surface detail, that should be in there, because that's something that you're going to have to make the model to. The other thing that I did that it's not as necessary, but is a little bit, is some of these things where like I draw these lines here. The reason being is that when I make the model, these are going to be distinctly like, this is one material, and then this will be another material, right? And then this is a material, and that's a material. These are like different materials, like they're almost like different objects in of themselves because they're not made of the same things. So you want to make sure that you draw those out as well. So wherever there's a distinct line that separates like one item from another, I did that. Now what you will notice that I didn't do is I did not let's use the camera. Here we go. I did not put these stripes on here. Okay, so see like the stripes here? I didn't do any of those. And the reason being is that they don't break the silhouette. They're not really a change of material. They could kind of be, but they're not going to affect the way that the model needs to move or anything like that. So I left them not there, because what we'll do is when we do the high resolution sculpt, I will sculpt them a little bit, like maybe make some like sew lines or something, and I'll paint them, but they're not actually something that's like in the model itself, right? If I were to take this guy and make them all one color, you wouldn't be able to tell where these stripes are, okay? Some other things I didn't do is like the wrinkles in here, like in his pants, in his undies here. I didn't do those. I didn't do the muscle lines. I didn't do things like that because, again, they're not really, those are kind of high resolution wrinkles and stuff that when we do the retopology, when I remake this geometry, it's not going to be visible anyway. When I do the high resolution sculpt, I'll sculpt all this detail in there. But for right now, it doesn't actually affect him in any like kind of way, so I'm not actually putting those in there. Now, that being said, I mean, they do affect the silhouette. So how it affects the silhouette, I put that in there. But I didn't really put much beyond that, okay? Now, the other thing that you're going to want to make sure that you put in there is the face, okay? So the face I got a little bit detailed with. I didn't go nuts with it. I mean, it's not like he's got, like, follicles or anything like that. But you do need to have where the mouth is going to be. Because when I make the geometry, I'm going to need it drawn around the mouth so that I know there's a hole here, okay? Also the eyes. I need to make sure that I have the eyes there so that I can have the geometry go around it, and the nose. Because most of the other stuff, like this is a tube. An arm is a tube. The fingers are tubes. The legs are tubes. The body's a tube. And the way that your body moves is mostly by just bending those tubes, right? Your elbow articulates, and then your wrist articulates, and so on and so forth, right? Your various phalange. But if you look at your face can squash and stretch and wiggle and move in all sorts of different expressive ways. And it's more of the surface will manipulate itself in certain positions in order to make the different expressions. So I need to make sure that I have those in there. So you should have eyes. They don't have to be perfect. My eyes I'm not really a big fan of. They look weird. There's something wrong with them. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but I don't want to spend any more time with that. Actually, you know what? I got to draw the eye hole. Actually, I got to change this a little bit. I didn't make the eye hole. So I'm going to make an eye hole here, too, for his eye to come out of. But you're going to need a mouth. You're going to need an eye hole. You're going to need the nose and the ear. And then, obviously, if your character has any sort of, like, hair or a mask or any of that sort of thing, that should also be visible. So you're going to, that's really the only detail you're going to get into. You don't need to do any of the rest of it. Now, if you want, you can like draw lines kind of for the musculature a little bit, but you're going to lose it. I'm just letting you know that now. But if you find that you just can't help it, sometimes I do it too, go for it. It doesn't really bother me too much. Like I added a little bit of the sternocleidomastoid muscle here and a little bit of clavicle, but then I was like, I got to stop because that isn't going to benefit me. So I didn't go too nuts with it. But just be aware that that's kind of what you're going to want to do. But once that's done, you're just going to want to save this, Control S, save it as the next version. And then you should just give me this Mudbox file. So it's just this, if I go in here, it's just this guy here. Just give me your latest version and just submit that on Blackboard, and then I will know. Now, if it's a character you think I don't know, like I don't know a lot of the Pokemon. I know the main ones like Squirtle or, well, you should be doing a Pokemon anyway, but I don't know anime, so if it's like an anime character or something, you might want to give me the picture, submit that as well, a picture, just so I know what it is. That way I can kind of give you better pointers as to like, oh, you can prove it this way or that way, and so on and so forth. Other than that, that's it. So good luck, and next week what we'll do is retopologize it. You'll hate that. That's the worst thing ever. But then it'll be good to actually start sculpting and modeling and, making it look good. All right.